to have you here, Denise. I've got Denise Duffield-Thomas with me here this morning. She's from the Lucky Bitch. She is the Queen Lucky Bitch from the Lucky Bitch Money Boot Camp that I've been doing for the past year. And probably, I think most people who know me have heard your name because I'm always talking about you. And, you know, my husband has, I've got my husband who reads the book and goes to the program. And, you know, it's all about, is that a lucky thing to do? Are you a lucky bee? Are you feeling lucky? You know, everything is all there.
Hilarious.
Really, really excited that you're here. So let's just dive in because there's going to be loads of women listening to this. And so I know that you target women in your marketing, you know, the whole Lucky Bitch thing. But is it typically women that do have stuff about money, and why is that?
Because, you know what, it is mostly women that I've seen. Guys definitely do have money blocks, but I think for us there's some cultural stuff there, there's generational stuff, and for most of us, we don't have that many role models in our lives who have been empowered around money. So maybe our mums worked, maybe our grandmas did work, but for a lot of us, they didn't. And a lot of us, they didn't have a lot of power around money. Yeah. So it's new for us, right? This is new stuff that we're dealing with. And especially for us entrepreneurs at the moment, because we're doing things that a lot of people don't understand. You know, like, I don't know if you've experienced this, but you tell your parents what you do and they're like, what? People pay you for that?
Yeah, exactly.
So it brings up stuff for us, right?
You just give them an abridged version of what you're doing. You don't.
Exactly.
They just don't get it.
Exactly. So that's why I think we're blocked. You know, because it's new, but also because we've got stuff that is, I think, not uniquely female, but you know, we have caring hearts, so we want everybody to benefit from what we do, and so we feel guilty about charging for things that we love, you know. And then there's a lot of cultural stuff around you have to work hard to make money. You know, that was drummed into a lot of us as kids, and that's a lot to unpack, and that's a lot to deal with, I think. So, you know, it's new for us.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I grew up in a single parent family on a council estate, so there was a real them and us thing around money. That, you know, there was no father figure since I was 7. But yeah, and I think women are conditioned by society to put other people first and not themselves. So it's kind of like you have a duty to serve everybody else and not serve yourself, where, you know, charging what you're worth is serving yourself, because you can't serve others well if you're not serving yourself properly. So, you know, I absolutely go along with that, and I think it's so important for us as women to get out of our own way, because we really are, what's the word, we really can sabotage ourselves through, you know,
absolutely,
that we've been brought up to believe. So, for the benefit of the women that are listening to this interview, what might they be experiencing now? Where are they right now that you can help them with? Is there a common pain that women, that we suddenly realise that we've got this crap around money? What typically is it that makes people wake up to you?
Well, first of all, I think there's a pain involved, you know, and for a lot of us it comes from really wanting to work for ourselves. And, you know, you think, God, I've read so many personal development books and I've been to so many personal development seminars. What's wrong with me? Why can't I make money? And why am I stuck working for other people when I could work for myself? And that's, I think, the hardest bit, is to see women who are talented, who are smart, who are ambitious, all of those kind of things. It doesn't stop you from having money blocks, you know. And so it usually comes down to you're sick of it, you know, you're sick of it, and you think, I've tried everything and I've read so many books and I've done so much work on myself, what's next? And for a lot of us, it's specifically working on our money blocks, not just trying to push through it with willpower or think, if I just find the perfect affirmation, you know, if I do a really good dream board, it'll be enough. It's not. you know, because there's a lot of emotional stuff around money, and there's a lot for us to unpack, and there's a lot of us to clear. So I think, you know, the sign whether or not you need to work on your money blocks is if you're blocked and either no money's coming in, or you've hit an income plateau and you think, well, that's it, that's the most amount of money I can ever earn, and you feel like it's real. So that's a really big sign that you've got some money blocks. And trust me, everyone has them, so you're completely normal. There's nothing wrong with you.
And it's really, I find it really interesting now I'm aware of them, to actually spot them in other people. Because, you know, I mean, you know yourself, you hang out in Facebook groups and what have you, and you see people replying to somebody's question, and in their reply you can see their money blocks right there. And, you know, I think we all have to be very careful whose advice we take, and question whether they are bringing their own blocks into their advice to you, you know. I mean, for me, it was kind of realising that the stories that I'd been told around money were that. They weren't reality. You know, look at him in his flash car, kind of, whoa, what actually does that, you know, does that mean that somebody in a flash car isn't a nice person? Where did that come from? And why am I thinking this stuff now? And, you know, it's kind of like, question, for me, it's like, question what you've heard, question what you believe about money now, and ask yourself whether that is real or not, you know. I mean, everybody knows really, really, really rich people who are maybe not as clean as we'd want to be, but everyone knows really, really, really rich people that are amazing and do amazing work. So it's not a reality, it's just a story that's driving you. Now, I mean, you said just now about everybody's got money blocks. Do you ever stop having money blocks? Does it ever go away?
I don't know. I've not experienced that yet.
No,
ask me in 60 years. No, I don't think so. But here's the thing. They'll follow you around, and usually everyone has one or two that will trigger them for probably, I think, the rest of their life. And, you know, I can only say from my experience and from knowing now so many successful women, and it does come up again and again for them. The numbers are different. The feeling is the same. The money block is usually the same. The good news is, though, that the more you work on it and you have tools to get out of it, they're actually not going to derail you and not going to sabotage you as much as they did before. You know, I see women at the very start of their journey who have no tools to help them, and their money blocks derail them from even getting started, or they derail them from ever earning money in their business. But then you'll go forward and you'll earn more money, and then you'll hit the same money block usually. You know, like, for example, you have to work hard to make money, or all rich people are greedy, or whatever it is for you. But the difference is that you can recognize it. You can just go, oh, that's just my money block, and you can maybe just take minutes to get out of it and to move on, instead of days, weeks, months, years that it used to do. So to answer your question, I don't think you ever fully clear them, but I don't think you need to either.
Okay, cool. So earlier on, you well, just now we talked about getting started. You know, that you may come to you with no tools, and that's what you help them with. If somebody's sitting here right now listening and they've realised that they do need to work on their money blocks, they have got money blocks, what are the first 3 lucky bitch exercises that you recommend that they get started with? What can they do now?
Yep. The very first thing to do is to look at your money memories. Look at the stories that you heard around money, the things you heard around money, how you grew up around money, anything that you remember, because exactly what you just said a couple of minutes ago, you know, I grew up a single mum, council estate. I did as well, exactly the same situation. And you know, you start to think about all those things that you did hear about money, like, oh, rich people are so greedy, and even just things that you just say in like normal language, you know, like, oh, born with a silver spoon in his mouth, and oh, all right for some, you know, just things like that. if you go and identify some of those, the next step is really just to be aware of what stories you created out of hearing some of those things. Maybe you have a story that if you made money you'd be greedy, or that people would hate you, or that you just wouldn't be a nice person, you'd turn into a bitch. So identify the memories, identify the belief behind it. And then the third thing is to really catch yourself. You know, and one of the best things you can do is to be aware of your language and just start identifying where you're saying things like that. And one of the things that I do that's really effective is I wear elastic band on my wrist. And if I find myself saying things like that, like, oh, I don't want to spend money on that or whatever, it's a pattern interrupter. And that's the best thing you can do, because the language that you speak is so powerful, and especially if you've got kids. But the more you say those things out aloud, the more you reinforce them as beliefs. And when you have those beliefs, that really changes your behavior, and that can be good or bad. So you've got to think of all the things you say and all the thoughts you have. It's compounding over time, and you want it to be compounding in a positive way rather than compounding to a negative way. So that's really the three things that you can do. Anyone can do straight away, and you'll be blown away by how negative sometimes you are around money without even realizing it.
Yeah, I mean, I love news agencies. I love going into somewhere where there's a huge magazine rack. I'm just like, it's a magnet for me. So I was walking around there a couple of weeks ago and thought, oh, I want that magazine and I want that magazine. And suddenly the voice in my head's like, you can't buy 2 magazines. What? Wait, what? We're talking about like £6 UK. And the reality, clearly that is not lodged in reality. Why? Whoa! So I'm having it, but it's that kind of stuff, isn't it? It's being aware when that kind of stuff happens. And another thing I see is people who really, really want something. So, just an example, this week, there was an episode of Dragon's Den on the weekend, and it was a new clothes steamer. We hate ironing, we're crap at ironing, so you end up wearing creased up clothes, and that's an economy thing for me to talk about in a minute. But this, so this steamer is 100 quid, and what I hear it in my head, but I see people do this all the time. I can't spend 100 quid on this thing that I really want, that's really exciting me. So what I'll do is I'll go and find something that is similar but cheaper or better value. But, this is not about spending shit tons of money. This is about getting the thing that makes you feel wow. And I think for me that was the first awareness that I took away. It's like, where am I economizing? Why am I economizing? And I found myself doing it when I was looking at this thing. I mean, they're just like beautiful colours. They're like hot pink, this theme one. I'm like, wow, I love this. Oh, I like the yellow one. But there's one that's half price that's just kind of grey. So I could get that, and I could save 50 quid, and it would be, it would do the job. But it's not making me go, whoa. It's not. I'm not going, wow, I can't wait. And it's those kind of things. If you hear yourself doing that, I really, really want 2 magazines, but you can't have 2 magazines, so I'll just put one back. Question why you're doing that and where it's, lodged. Is it lodged in reality? Because 6 quid, I can't spend 6 quid on magazines. It's really not reality, And so my new steamer is coming tomorrow. I know, it's so exciting.
I am so excited for you, because it's funny, I bought a steamer last week and I was really annoyed because, and it's exactly what you're talking about, because I left it to the last minute to buy this steamer, and so I went to the shops and they only had kind of cheap steamers, and I was so annoyed because when we were using it, it was leaking water. And I was so annoyed with myself because I thought, oh, if only I'd left a bit more time, because I hate buying things that don't work. Because one, when you tolerate things like that in your life that are annoying, it's just you have low-level annoyances all around you. Absolutely. And also, you end up buying 3 of them when you should have just bought the expensive one straight away. So I'm really excited for you about that steamer. I want one as well.
It's a brand new company. I can't remember, it's Bridgestone or something it's called, but it's on Dragon's Den on Sunday. I'll send you the link. But it was like, oh my God, they're so colourful, and and I'm just so looking forward to getting out of the economy. So I'm just going to jump to that because now we're talking about economy and first class. That is one of the exercises, one of the exercises in the Lucky Bitch Money Boot Camp. And to think about where in your life you have stuff that is economy that you can upgrade so it makes you feel first class. So there are the steps in between, but I'm just going to go from one extreme to the other. So, when I did this exercise, you really start looking around and you think, so like the steamer, have I bought one that I don't really want, so that I've economized? That's an economy feeling. It makes me feel low vibe. It's not a high vibe feeling when I look at it. And one of the most random ones for me was our bath mat. We've had this mat in the bath for years, and it was yellow, and it was cracked, and it was, what the hell? They're very little money to change. And it was only when I did this exercise that I started looking around and thinking, that every time I see that, I think, so upgraded that. So is there, what was the economy in your life that you upgraded that is now first class?
Oh, wow, great question. And the first thing I want to say is it's not about conspicuous consumption. It's not about buying lots of stuff if that doesn't float your boat. And it's actually not even about buying expensive stuff if it doesn't float your boat. It's all about how it makes you feel. And I think all of us know in ourselves what makes us feel economy class and what makes us feel first class. So a lot of people, when they do that exercise, they get a little bit depressed because they're like, everything in my life is economy class. Because honestly, pretty much everything in my life was economy class. You name it, from my house to my bedding to my underwear to everything. And it just caused so much energy to be, expended all the time. Like, all of my clothes seemed to have something wrong with them, and I was always like, oh, I can't take my jumper off today because this shirt's got a stain in it, and I have to kind of stand like this to make it fun. I just expended so much energy all of the time in having an economy class mindset. And sometimes the way you upgrade your mindset is just through all of those little practical things, because you're just getting rid of all the annoyances, getting rid of the sharp edges in your life. So I'm just trying to think of an example, but honestly, everything was, and I was just tolerating so much stuff. I remember when I used to live in London, because I lived in London for 9 years, our shower broke, and we just didn't get around to fixing it, and our whole bathroom was economy class. And we had bucket showers in London in winter for like 2 months, like literally with a bucket. When I first moved to Australia, my uncle, who was he was a car salesman, he had this trade-in car, and he was like, oh, you can get this car for $2,000. And I was like, sweet, or maybe it was like $1,200. And the roof of the car was so saggy, it touched my head and sagged around my face. And every time I got in that car, I felt like crap, like I really did. And again, it's not about making everything the most expensive, but it's looking at where you're tolerating things in your life because you don't feel like you're worth it, because you don't feel like you deserve anything better, because you feel like you have to put up with it. So you usually start with the things that make you feel the poorest, right? And you just upgrade them to where they feel great for you, and then you move on to something else. It's not like, you get, this is my example all the time, you upgrade and you get maybe an iPhone. Like, you can get like a gold-plated iPhone if you want, but upgrade to where you think, you know what, if I had all the money and time in the world, I'd still choose that. And then you move on to something else.
Yeah, I mean, and it really isn't about spending a lot of money. I mean, we bought a new TV last year because my husband wanted it. I don't feel any more special about, watching that TV doesn't make me go, oh, I'm so happy inside any more than the old TV. It's not about that. It's about the little stuff sometimes, going from cheap bedding to Egyptian cotton, going from, I was wearing Avon makeup and upgraded it to MAC, because every time I see the MAC logo, the bath mat now is it's got yellow ducks on it that, makes me smile because it's bright yellow and I love bright colours. So don't think this is about getting a credit card and going out and bashing that credit card and spending loads of money. Just look at where little things that you can upgrade that make you feel, wow, every time you look at them or wear them or touch them or what have you, So going back to your earlier days, because your personal brand is pretty strong now, there is a whole tribe of lucky bitches, lucky bees out there. We all, I think the world knows who you are, and, ready to hear your message. But I guess in the early days that wasn't the case, because money training is typically quite dry, and that's always put me off in the past. I've kind of started looking at it and gone, a page later, and that's why I kind of fell in love with you so much, because it's so easy. Yours is just so easy to consume and action, But in the early days, how did you go about breaking that mold? How did you go about getting the people who were used to the dry stuff to listen to you, particularly with some of the language? The whole bitch thing is, very divisive, very marmite. So how did you get that out there?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I started out as a life coach, and I started out kind of helping everyone on anything. And the thing that came back again and again for my clients was money. They were really stressed about money, or they were really blocked around money. And the truth was, I was as well. So, I knew I needed a breakthrough around money. So I probably spent about a year working on my own money stuff and looking at my stories and looking at what things happened in my life that caused me to be afraid of money. And then I just started sharing it a little bit with my clients, and then that's when I decided to create a course around it. And I definitely rejected the calling of it. I felt a very strong calling, and I thought, there's so many people who need to hear this, and I know that they maybe need to hear it in a different way, but seriously, universe, it's not me. I was no, I don't want to do this. I'm not ready. It's, I'll feel like a fraud. It's not me. Don't make me do this. And I just decided one day, I'm like, you know what? I don't have to be Susie Orman. I don't have to be Oprah. It's okay for me to be part of the conversation. It's okay for me just to tell it the way I want to tell it. And that's when I was in the shower. Actually, I said, universe, send me the name of the best-selling book. Like, I need a really great name. And I was in the shower, and I just went, Lucky Bitch. And I just thought, oh, God, some people are going to hate this. Like, I don't know if I'm ready. Again, just like, universe, don't make me do this. And I did get a little bit of backlash for sure when I changed it from Inspired Life to Lucky Bitch. It's very different, right? One's very polite and lovely and soft, and one's a little bit kind of harsh. And absolutely, right? And then I just went, you know what, I'm just going to go all in with it. And I've never regretted it. And the only time it's tricky, honestly, is when I try and do Facebook ads, because sometimes they reject me.
Yeah, I found that when I was trying to do an affiliate promotion last year. Oh, no. And because we get so used to the words, and you forget what the other meanings of it are.
Exactly.
So,
and I still get people sometimes going, oh, it's a bit harsh, I don't want to be a bitch. And I think once they hear me speak and they realise that, it's not from a place of, oh, let's be rich bitches and, being harsh, because I'm quite a mellow person. I'm quite laid back. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I used it, though, to be honest, Veronica, is when something great happens for you and when you've created something consciously in your life, there will be people in your life who dismiss it as luck, and I had friends who would say to me, oh, you're such a lucky bitch, Denise. And I would think, no, I've created this. Like, it's not an accident. And like you as well, growing up in a council estate, it's not an accident that I'm here and not where some of those people are that I grew up with, it was not luck. It was daily compounding actions, you know, over time. So I thought, well, how fun would that be just to kind of reclaim that and go, ah, yeah, we're lucky bitches. But my work is always about showing people behind the scenes, here's how you can do it, here's how you can break it down, here's how you can create that in your own life, and it's not going to be luck.
That's right. I think the other thing around the word preach is you come in with the thinking around it being a negative word and money being a negative emotion. But through doing all of the work with you in the Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp, you go away with bitch being a positive word. So you are a lucky bitch, and money is a positive emotion. So kind of for me, it fits absolutely, because what you do is to transform negative into positive, and the name as well, you know. So on the note about the Lucky Bitch Money Bootcamp, tell us, I know that you've got an amazing deal going on at the moment, and I'm going to be sharing the link for that offer underneath this interview. So tell us what we can get. I mean, I know because I've been part of the community for a year, but tell us what's inside the boot camp.
Yeah, so the whole idea of the boot camp is for you to identify your personal money blocks, your personal sabotages, and how you deal with money and your own stuff, all those things that are holding you back, and that's different for everybody. So you really have to identify that for you, but then also you need the tools to be able to clear it and to let it go and to move on and create money despite your blocks. Plus, I think it's really important to have the support of a community. So the bootcamp comes with a very, very active Facebook group, and that's where you can go, hey guys, this just happened, you know, a client's defaulted and it's making me feel crap about money again, what do I do? And to have that place where you can share your money challenges, but also your money successes. You know, most of us don't have a place where we can go, hey guys, I just, you know, got paid to do a speaking gig or whatever, because that can trigger other people's money stuff if you've ever tried to share that with your family or friends before. Right? They're like, oh, wow, you know, all right for some. And so I've created that space where we can talk honestly about money and we can talk about our blocks and be vulnerable, but also share and become empowered around money together. So the big announcement is I decided to completely upgrade the program. So I've actually just re-recorded new videos. I've added a lot more bonuses, things about how to talk to your kids about money and how to deal with your partner around money and different upgrade challenges. Yeah, I've added so much cool stuff. So the cool thing is that the price is going up. The price is actually doubling. Which is, I guess, not the cool thing, but the amazing thing is that anyone who joins before the 23rd of July gets the current program at the current price. You get all the bonuses, you join the community, you start the program, and then when we upgrade the program, which is in October, you get the absolutely new program and locked it at the current price. So that's on the 23rd of July that ends, and that's 9 p.m. Eastern US time, so I'm not quite sure what it is in the UK. So that's really great. If we'll work it out. We'll work it out. For anyone who's been on the fence about it, but also anyone who knows that, you know, they're blocked around money and they've got stuff to do around money. I think it's a very affordable course. We do have a payment plan as well, and it's something that you just kind of go, you know what, I just need to change and shift some things around money, and usually for most people it pays itself back very, very quickly just in implementing a few different things in your business with your new upgraded money mindset. So that link is below. Veronica's put the link somewhere on the page, and we'd love to see you in the community.
But, you know, the community as well, the tools and the training is really powerful, but the community is just immense. It's like you said, it's a safe space. Where else can you, so you just had a 5-figure, 6-figure sales day. Where else can you you go and share that with your partner. Sometimes, depending on where they're at with their own money stuff, sometimes they're like, wow, sometimes they're, oh, okay, and you don't get the support there. You go and put it on your Facebook page or profile, and you'll just get, you'll get all of the, you'll get some congratulations, but you'll get a whole dump of everybody else's triggers. In the Lucky Bee community, that's what we do. We're like, yay, well, congratulations. Or, okay, so I've just had this 5-figure day. It's amazing, but I'm not feeling. So you get talked through, and it is a really, really powerful community where you can just be honest, because it's a closed group. It's not going out to your tribe, and you can just say what you're actually thinking and get the help, good and support. So we're at the end of our time now, and I want to just say thank you again. It's just, I've been so excited, but scared at the same time, nervous. And there was actually one point, just for the benefit of everyone listening, one point where I did consider cancelling it because I was brooking myself and thinking, I don't know what question to ask. And,
well, you had great questions for me. And here's the thing too, like I'm a normal person, you're a normal person, and sometimes we put people up on a pedestal, and when we do that, it kind of tells the universe, well, it's okay for them, but it's not okay for me. And that's one of the things that I really want people to know, is that you are enough. You can be wealthy, you can be rich, you can live a first-class life. Not, like crazy millionaire if you don't want to be a millionaire, but you can have a life where you make money doing the stuff that you love. If I can do it, if Veronica can do it, you can do it as well, because we're all just normal women, and we're all, just creating amazing things in the world, and we're doing it for the next generation as well. Our kids are going to have such different views on money when they see us being empowered around money. So, I always say to people, go look in the mirror and, point to your face and say, this is what a rich woman looks like, because we come in all different shapes and sizes. We're all different, but we've all got the capability to do it.
Absolutely. Love you. Thank you so much. And so I'll have the link for bootcamp will be underneath this video, and on my blog it will go out. I'll send it out in the next couple of days, and I'll just thank you. And it's really great to hang out with you. And I'll send you the link to the steamer.
Thank you.
I think they do one in turquoise as well, but I'll have a look. So have a good evening over there in Australia, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Veronica.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.